Hello and welcome to game number 7 of the World Chess Championships, where we have Anand playing with the white pieces and Carlsen playing with the black pieces. Currently it is 4-2 in favor of Carlsen, and Anand is yet to win a game. So I hope you enjoy my analysis. As you can see by the notation, it is a very short game, so let's get into it. The first moves repeat throughout the majority of the games. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a Rai Lopez that Anand has been doing every single time he's white. Knight f3 and d3. And now instead of castling we have bishop c5. And instead of castling we have bishop takes c6. So now we enter the line where the pawn is taken on d6, and I'd just like to point something out really quick, that these two pawns are not very useful. Black's going to try to maybe push this up to try to trade it, but that's not going to happen in this game. However, normally you would see this as a major weak point in the position, especially 5 moves in. Game continues, knight d2, bishop g4, now pinning this knight down. The bishop does not want to go away, so the knight makes a little journey to kick that bishop out. But the bishop just ends up taking the knight in the first place. Then the queen recaptures. Pawn pushes up to g6. Bishop e3 trades. Anand was hoping to trade this out so that when he castles queenside he would have more availability with his pawns, but that's not what happened in this game. What you see is a castle, knight dropping out to e2. Rook e8, this tension is still maintained between the bishops. Even more, I don't really understand this move. It only provides a flight square for the king. This 3 pawns cannot be on the same file. It would just not be in black's interest to do that. h4 is played. King b7, like I said earlier, that pawn push really helped out. h5, trying to break open this side of the black position. Finally the bishop takes, and the queen recaptures, maintaining perfect pawn structure. Knight c5, takes on g6, g3, a5, and now rook h7. Basically the idea was to have both rooks functioning along this file, and what black was thinking about in this game was to have some kind of checkmate threat after the smoke cleared, but neither of things happened in the game. We see a simple rook exchange, and then some pawn gets pushed up to f4 with the assistance of g3 that was played earlier. More rooks get traded, and the pawns get traded. Queen f3 attacks this dangerous pawn. It also has some ideas that once the pawn moves, this queen will have major activity along this diagonal. This did not happen, however. Simple f5 is played. There is an exchange. Now the pawn pushes to c3, where I believe that this knight is preventing this queen from being active, since the queen needs to not only protect the pawn, it also needs to protect the knight, since the queen is bearing down on it. So the queen is a very defensive piece, and black is now on the attack, even with these double pawns. You see knight e6, relieving pressure of this pawn. King c2 protecting this pawn. Knight g5 attacks the queen, queen drops back a square, and then you see a triple repetition where both players shake hands and the game ended in a draw. And I don't know why Carlsen didn't go for the win. I think he was content with the position and thought that after he traded down his pieces, these two pawns would have been a liability for him. However, I don't think that's the case at all, actually, because these pawns will be traded, and this isn't really a passed pawn because one of these guys is cutting him off. Not like this, but like that. One of these guys is cutting off this pawn, and it's still a 4-on-4. However, good game anyway. Now the score is 4.5 to 2.5 in favor of Carlsen. Again, he maintains his 2-point lead going into tomorrow with the white pieces for game number 8. However, that was a short little video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my analysis. Oh, whoops, we are not changing the color scheme. We are ending this video, so long.